Welcome to another episode of City Connection, a quick look at city happenings so you can dive deeper into what's going on in your city, stay informed and connected. Thanks for joining us. I'm Casey Drescher. The mission of the city's Creeks Division is to improve creek and ocean water quality and restore natural creek systems. To achieve those goals requires a lot of data and a bit of detective work. In our first story, we tag along with Creek staff to see how water quality monitoring is done and why it's so important.
Hi, I'm Natalie Tees. I'm a code enforcement officer with the City of Santa Barbara Creeks Division. I'm going to go through how we do our weekly water quality monitoring here at the Bird Refuge. So this is measuring 4 different parameters. The piece that's in the water has 4 different probes on it. It's taking the temperature, the conductivity, the dissolved oxygen, and the pH of the water. And these are just field measurements that can also be indicative of general water quality. So we track those over time per project as well.
We do a lot of water quality monitoring and research, and our main goals in doing so are to understand the impacts of any chemical or microbial pollution on creek ecosystems and on human health, for example, in the ocean. We also try to understand the impacts of our projects, since a lot of times we're either assessing existing projects or collecting baseline data for future projects.
We take water quality samples to look for fecal indicator bacteria, which can indicate the general health of the water body and point us towards if any further testing is needed to look for and identify things like sewage breaks, urban runoff pollution.
And then another big project we have is to tackle the issue of microplastics. And this is one that we recently got a grant to work with several other research institutes. And what we're doing that's unique is that we're looking at whether some of the activities that we do as part of our water quality improvement and our stormwater permit, such as street sweeping and catch basin cleaning and trash cleanups, whether those can actually intercept and reduce the amount of microplastic that we know we're sending out into the ocean.
I love my job. It feels a lot like investigatory work, but a lot of fun. I live in town, and so I can drive around and see our different projects and look at the water at the beach or in the creeks and feel really positive about the impact that I personally have on it.
As someone who's been surfing since I was 13 years old, when I went to grad school, I thought I wanted to get a background in science so that I could go and improve water quality later in my career. And here I am doing that. Some of the best days of my life are taking my kids to the beach, and knowing that we're making that a better experience for everyone is very meaningful for me.
On-site water sampling is an important component of improving creek and ocean water quality, but there's another critical step in the process: testing. Up next, we put on our lab coats to get a tour of the Water Resources Laboratory.
If you've ever watched crime dramas, you've probably witnessed the all-important laboratory scene where super smart analysts use science to crack cases. Well, the city has its own lab, but instead of helping to nab criminals, our lab is helping safeguard our water.
The water comes from Gibraltar, Kachuma. We help Kachuma Operation and Maintenance Board test that water. It comes through Tecolote Tunnel to the Cater Water Treatment Plant. We help them with both regulatory stuff and their process control. It comes through the distribution system to people's homes. We're testing those on a weekly basis. If any of people have issues with their water quality, we're the ones getting that telephone call to assist them with that. Goes into the collection system after it's flushed down the drain, and we support those individuals, and then it comes to this wastewater treatment plant, and we're helping them with their regulatory requirements as well as their process control. And goes into the ocean, and we have the desalination plant, and we are doing a high degree of testing for them as well. Not so much process control, but the regulatory requirements, because they have their own laboratory there. It's nice to see all parts of that, along with supporting the Creeks Division with their stormwater testing and the waterfront and harbor.
If you're talking about the safety of water in Santa Barbara, the Water Resources Lab is likely involved. The lab is accredited to do 54 analyses of water and wastewater, so they can cater testing to the specific needs of city departments that rely on its services.
We are the ones who come in and say, okay, based on your needs, we will sample for this with this specific bottle, and this preservative has a hold time of this many hours, and we would either make sure that it gets to the proper contract laboratory to process it, or for a majority of it, we can do it in-house.
Analysis tell us that a common misconception about water quality testing is that someone can just grab a sample of water, give it to our laboratory staff, and they can put it in a magical machine that tells you all about your water quality, which our crew saw firsthand is not at all how it works.
The way in which it's supposed to be analyzed, the quality control that has to be associated with each one of those analyses, it's all very specific. We oftentimes get calls from people that they would like their water tested, and they collected a sample in their own bottle that already represents like it's suspect, right? I don't know that bottle, I don't know where it came from, I can't tell you how clean it actually is.
And for the lab staff, this is more than just a job. They consider themselves ocean protectors.
I live down the way from the Cater water treatment plant, so it's great to be a customer of our water system and to really trust it and have my family drink that water and know I'm the one who knows exactly what's in it. I'm the one who's looking at the data points. I'm the one who's compiling it to present it every year to the public. So to feel confident because I know that me and my team have done our due diligence.
From protecting our waterways to protecting our infrastructure and public access space, the City Parks and Recreation Department teamed up with City Fire to mitigate fuels using a special crew of seasonal workers.
Santa Barbara knows all too well the threat that wildfire season brings and the importance of defensible space.
We're trying to give the fire department areas where that they can, if need be, set up and defend the properties that are around them and the people that live in them.
And firefighters will tell you, don't let that June gloom fool you.
The sun is actually out now. Our June gloom is kind of past us, which means our light grass fuel load will be drying out. You could already kind of see it on our hillsides. Grasses are continuing to dry, so definitely got to mitigate your grasses and reduce that fire risk in the high fire hazard area.
For the past month, 5 city parks have had a few extra visitors.
They're a little bit less free thinking and have slightly less rebellious natures than goats, so that makes them nice coworkers.
These temporary city workers covered about 25 acres.
When they've been in an area for a day or two, the grass truly is greener on the other side of the fence.
Grazing on vegetation that needed a little trim ahead of fire season.
They bring the vegetation down to the ground level, but won't necessarily disturb like larger trees and certain vegetation that we want to keep its roots and come back later in the year.
It's a unique approach, serving as nature's lawnmower without the diesel.
From a labor standpoint, we are able to free up 2 people for about 20 working days that we can use some of the other tasks that we never seem to have quite enough time to finish.
A lighter carbon footprint with hooves.
The joy and the wonder and the entertainment that they provide, there's something so natural about watching animals in their element. So we love interfacing with the public.
With a shepherd and guard dog on site, the project is a collaboration between City Fire and Parks and Recreation, requiring a lot of planning because timing is critical.
You know, really need to take into account all of the things they need to make it successful, like a water source, and a space to load their trailer, offload and onload the sheep that is away enough from traffic. And so those are the kinds of behind the scenes things that go into this.
Like any proactive effort, it's all about planning ahead rather than reacting.
Our Wildland division with the City Fire Department offers free voluntary defensible space inspections. I highly recommend it if you're in our high fire hazard zones to give us a call, and we'd be glad to walk with you one-on-one.
You can schedule a defensible space inspection on your own property by contacting the City Fire Department at 805-965-5254. The mission of the Santa Barbara Police Department is to provide public safety through community-oriented policing. And in that regard, it's one of the most innovative in the country. SBPD also happens to be hiring. And who better to give you the inside scoop than the officers themselves?
I grew up wanting to be a police officer. I've wanted to be a police officer since I was 10 years old.
I think everybody is familiar with the I want to help people answer, and that's absolutely true. It's the core of why I do it. Day in and day out, I have amazing coworkers, people who are always there for me, people who are willing to help me, not just in my job, but also in my personal life.
I specifically work at the community action team right now.
I'm a member of the SWAT team, Special Weapons and Tactics.
For the most part, it's just every day something new, and you hang out with such a great group of people, and you get to meet a million different people from different walks of life.
911, what's the location for your emergency? I actually have a degree in film, media management, so I went to film school. After about a year and a half, 2 years of doing locations, I realized I really missed law enforcement community. I grew up in law enforcement, so I've always been around it and grew up with it, but I realized I really wanted to go back to that. And so I did. And so I've been here at this one agency for 12 years.
Being engaged with the community, being able to go out and talk to people, have a dialogue is a wonderful part of the job. It's not all about taking people to jail and arresting people and giving people citations, but a big part of it is just having a relationship with the people that you deal with, the people you talk to.
I used to be terrified of public speaking, and that's like 90% of my job is just walking out, having a presence and speaking with people. That has been extremely beneficial to me.
You have a ton of support, especially in the city of Santa Barbara. Law enforcement obviously can be a hot topic right now, but within the city we have nothing but people who support us and want us there and encourage what we do. One of the things that we're really excited about is we have a new building coming, and that I think really excites people. Santa Barbara Police Department has a bright future. We have a future with the people that work there. We have a lot of young officers, a lot of young people in the department that are excited about what's to come.
We are a great department that is welcoming to anyone and everyone. I always say that we're just a big family.
Again, if you'd like to learn more about becoming a member of the SBPD family, check out joinsantabarbarapd.org. Stay in the know and follow the city on our social platforms. And be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter, City News in Brief. We're always there for you online at santabarbaraca.gov. Thanks for watching City Connection. We'll see you next time.